Hello everyone, it's Sam here from SnakesonSam, and I want to talk about something super duper important. It's beyond animal care. It's beyond facts about animals. It's about whether or not you should gift a reptile. In my work, I have seen complete polar opposites when it comes to this topic. I have seen people who absolutely do not agree with gifting reptiles or any pet as a Christmas or birthday gift or anything like that. I've also seen people who are like, we just went out and got a lizard and I don't even know what kind it is. Now, hold up. I think there is a middle ground between those two ideas. I think that reptiles can totally be gifts, but there must be some things that are thought of prior to gifting the animal. Today, I am debunking this and we're talking about the factors that go into gifting a reptile and the things you must consider and what I would say is the best way to do it. It eliminates things like the person not getting the animal they want or getting the wrong animal or not getting a good setup and having the poor animal homeless in your home. Let's get started. So one of the most important things when purchasing a reptile as a gift is to know the person receiving the reptile gift is well versed in the animal or knows what they are doing. They don't have to be experienced. It's not like they have to go have a degree in leopard geckos, but they have to know about leopard geckos and what it takes to take care of them. An easy way to figure that out is to watch YouTube videos. I have a leopard gecko care video and I'm putting it right up here, all about these animals and what you need in order to take care of them. That's a great place to start because you need to understand how long they live, what it's like to care for them, and what you're feeding them. Because if you're bringing a leopard gecko in your home and you think you're just going to feed him greens, you're wrong. And the thing is, I see this a lot in my work. I see that people like the idea of having reptiles because it's really cool, but they don't like the idea of taking care of them. They don't like the idea of feeding crickets or worms or worse, rats. And if you don't do the research, how are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to know that it eats worms or crickets or that you have to have this big enclosure and lighting and this and that? You don't. And it's not something that you can just take home and figure out after the fact. So that's really the number one, is do your research and be aware that the person who is receiving the reptile gift has done their research and that they know what they're getting themselves into. Because the worst thing is if you give it to them and they look at you and they're, wait, hold up, I didn't look at this. They live 15 years? What? That's not good. This is a long-term buddy and you want to make sure they're aware of that and that they're ready for the task of caring for this animal. So do your research, but also, more importantly, make sure the person receiving the reptile has done their research also. Another important thing is it's not just about the species, it's also about the morph for a lot of people. The person receiving the reptile may have a specific morph in mind. Maybe they want a banana ball python, or maybe they want an albino ball python. And you want to make sure you're getting the thing they want. How sad would it be if you got a specific morph and the person receiving the animal is, oh, thanks, but I really am happy, but also I didn't want this morph? That hurts, and I don't want anyone to fall in that situation. So it's not just about getting the species they dream of, it's about getting the morph they dream of and making sure you're getting the animal they have envisioned for 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, however long months. For example, I have 2 ball pythons that I bring out to the public to experience, and some people fall completely in love with Chico, the banana ball python. Other people fall in love with Gizmo, the normal ball python. So it really depends on what the person likes about the animal and also their personality. And that comes down to them experiencing the animal and knowing what they want versus you just bringing something home. Finally, the most important part of reptile care is the enclosure and the setup. This is not dog care. This is not the same thing where you bring home a dog and they live in your house and they kind of do what you do. When it comes to reptile care, you're creating a mini environment for these creatures. I understand that maybe your budget is like $200 on a really fancy, cool leopard gecko. That's awesome. But you still have an enclosure you have to buy. So you're looking at, instead of a $200 gift, you're looking at a $400, $450, $500 gift all out the door. So this becomes way more than just getting a reptile for someone. It becomes getting a setup for someone and everything they need to care for the animal. Think of it this way. It's like buying a dog, but also realizing you need to get leashes and bones and dog houses and make sure there's a yard and a gated fence for them to run around the yard and treats and training and everything. You can't just be like, here's a leopard gecko, it's gonna live in your house. It doesn't work like that. So there's my concerns when it comes to someone buying a reptile for a gift. I think it's great. I'm not in the camp of do not do it, but I'm also in the camp of you have to know what goes into it. That's the reality of buying a reptile for someone as a gift, and those are the things that actually go into it. It's pretty complicated and it requires much more than just buying the animal itself. All right, so now you know what it's like. Let's say you're still here, you're still ready, they've done their research, you know what it entails, you know what happens with the animal, you want to go ahead and do it. So this is what I recommend when you're buying a reptile as a gift. I recommend to buy the setup first. So get everything the animal needs to live. That includes the enclosure, the heating, the lighting, the food bowl, the bedding, everything. Put a big bow on it. You can even set it up and make it look really pretty all together, arrange it for them, and give it to them that way. That gives them all the tools they need to care for the animal besides the feeder crickets or the feeder rats. And it gives them a good starting point, and they can always add in the enclosure, put more wood in there, whatever they feel like to make it their own. Then if you are still on board to buy them this animal with all the expenses combined, I would give them a cute little piece of paper that says good for one leopard gecko. And then that's something that they open up separately. Then sometime within the month of their birthday or the holiday, they can go out with you and they can actually handpick the animal with you, which is really a cool experience altogether. Bond with it, fall in love with the animal that they wanted with a perfect morph that's been all over their TikTok or Instagram forever. This gives them the feeling that they were involved in the process of picking out the animal that they are now going to care for a long time. But you also have given them the tools to do it easier and give them the initial setup that helps them really enjoy their animal and have the animal stay healthy. And if this is their first reptile, shopping for them is going to be so easy in the future because they're going to become obsessed with their animals. That's what reptile people do. We get obsessed about our animals and want this for them and this for them and everything for them. And there's always something new to get for them. And your shopping list for birthdays and holidays is just going to be like, what does the leopard gecko need? Or what does this animal need? I hope this video really helped you figuring out whether or not gifting a reptile is the right thing for this holiday season or for a birthday coming up. As you are looking into these animals and understanding them, please check out my other videos. I have so many great videos all about caring for these creatures, whether it's a bearded dragon, a leopard gecko, a blue-tongued skink, even snakes. And it makes the process so much simpler to understand what you might need and what it is really like caring for these animals. I even have a video all about the top 5 reptiles I think that are best for beginners. It's going to be linked right up here as well. So there's no excuse. You got this. I'm so excited for your journey and to learn more about these animals. Thanks again for stopping by, and I hopefully will see you guys soon. Like, subscribe, be part of this community. I am so excited to be here and talking about these amazing creatures and sharing my knowledge with you to help understand them a little better. And that's all for today. Go out there, shop, have a great time, and stay wild and stay curious, my friends.